What if the problem isn't you? What if you're in the wrong room? My suspicion, you're not broken and you don't need to be fixed. You have outgrown where you are. Let's get more space and freedom to redesign the life you deserve. Welcome to the Reinvention Room. I'm Allison Hare, coach for ambitious women making big changes, and we are rethinking everything we've been taught. Part pop culture, part real talk, and all smarter ways to live life on your own terms. On the day this releases, it is going to be January 16th, 2025. And if you are living on this planet Earth, you have been witnessing unimaginable tragedy in our nation and in the world with the wildfires in Los Angeles. I mean, my heart goes out to all of those affected and can say that collectively, I'm pretty sure you can feel the weight of it all too, on top of your own challenges and curveballs. And it's wild when we start the year on January 1st. I mean, if you're like me, I'm sure you're the same. You start with the highest of hopes, the grandest of goals, and the best intentions, only to have the obstacles throw us off course. So what a perfect time to straighten that crown, get our mindset back intact, and wipe off that path for our highest good. Now, I'm curious, what is your position on manifestation? Is your desk like mine? Mine is surrounded by crystals. I've got my tarot reader and my Reiki healer on speed dial. I love them. I've got a lot of woo in me. But there's a line that I go right up to. And then, I don't know, cynical Cindy can come out. And you and I, we need a little magic. We need a little magic right now. So I brought the big guns in. And my guest today is Jen Mazer, known affectionately as the Queen of Manifestation. She's the author of Manifesting Made Easy and the co-founder of the board game Sparked. And I got to tell you about Jen. She's always been able to dream up these outrageous adventures and actually live them out. Like she has lived rent-free in the East Village in New York City for 10 years, rent-free. She's had her artwork published in the New York Times. She's starting a green school in Africa, and talk about synchronicities everywhere. She is now a sought-after transformational speaker and coach, and she teaches people how to manifest their dreams while making an impact on the world. Her work has been featured in the New York Times, Fast Company, New York Magazine, Real Simple, Cosmopolitan, Inc. Magazine, Marie Claire ABC, and more. And here's the best part. We've got her today. And what we're going to do today is we are going to debunk some myths that are running rampant in the mainstream aspect of manifestation. We're going to look deeper into the science and the practice, and we're going to offer tools that you can use today to shift your mindset, elevate your intuition, and invite possibilities even better than you imagined. I'm really excited about this. I've actually been sitting on it for a while. We recorded a while back, so when you hear a reference of Late Learner Podcast, that is the former name of this podcast. Now we are Reinvention Room. I invite you to share this episode with a friend who might need a little mindset shift or a reminder of what's possible. So please make sure you text this to them right now, send them a note. Let's get into it with Jen Mazer. Woo! This has been a long time coming. I have the Queen of Manifestation, Jen Mazer, on today. Welcome, Jen.
Thanks for having me. I'm psyched to be here, Allison. I feel like I've known you since before the podcast.
It was before the podcast. And do you know what's funny is when you and I worked together, and I looked, it was 6 years ago. And I remember one of the things that you had me do is to put a mind movie together. So I wrote a note to myself to go look at the mind movie and see what happened. And all over that mind movie was a really amazing, popular, meaningful podcast. And it was not there before. So how amazing.
I love it. You manifested it. Yes, yes.
Oh,
You're living
well,
proof that manifestation works. I'm excited to help debunk some myths today on the podcast and talk more about it.
I do have a lot of myths that I would love to debunk because I feel like manifestation has become more mainstream, but so mainstream where there is some of it that just feels a little bit like snake oil
Yeah.
salesman. It just does. Like some of it is I'm completely repelled by, and some of it I'm like, this is totally my vibe. So,
Yeah.
can you explain a little bit of your story that you did not give yourself the name Queen of Manifestation? Your friends did, but can you tell us a little bit about your story?
Yeah, sure. I'd love to. So, yeah, my friends actually nicknamed me the Queen of Manifestation years ago because I was the friend in our circle. Every time we got together, I had just another outrageous story of something that I manifested. And I think the biggest one, which is why they gave me the nickname at that time, was I manifested living rent free in Manhattan for 10 years in my own apartment that I renovated with my jacuzzi bathtub and new kitchen and magical story. Lived there my whole 20s. And we had a theater downstairs in our building. We converted one of the apartments into a theater. And every Christmas, the jazz musician Wynton Marsalis would play a private concert for us in our building. And we recorded a
What?
concert. Yeah, we recorded a live concert with him. I think it was in 2003, and put out an album with Blue Note Records. And it was nominated for a Grammy live at the House of Tribes. You can all listen to it. I was there.
Wow.
So many things. I had my art in the New York Times, manifested, my soulmate who is a successful musician and now Grammy nominated also with my help.
Wow.
And had become friends with a lot of the people who I used to admire, whether they were spiritual teachers or filmmakers or whatever, artists. And things just seemed to magically kind of happen. And so people wanted to know how. And that's really how it started. I started teaching other people, leading first guided visualizations and then my manifestation master's program, which is what you did, and so many more things since then. So I'm happy to share more. But it's my way of being, just kind of, it came naturally to me. And then I realized, oh, what I'm doing is not special to me. Everyone is manifesting all the time. It's just understanding how it works and being able to now be more intentional with what you're creating in your life. Yeah.
I want to go back a little bit. There are some people that may have a level of skepticism. And I
Yeah.
wonder, what did spirituality look like for you growing up? Was this
Yeah.
something that was met with resistance or something that was kind of fostered in your home?
Yeah. So I grew up Jewish, and my parents, we never talked about manifesting or anything. It was not a word in our vocabulary.
Yeah.
But what was is that I was always recognized as a talented artist from when I was little. So I was the one in my family. I carried around a sketchbook. I drew all the relatives, and they were like, "Oh, Jen's a good artist." We all have that when someone says you're good at this
Yeah.
thing, and you're like, "I am." It's manifestation. You now believe that, other people believe it, and so you're holding that belief to be true because other people are like, "You're good at this thing." So I had that. And because I was a visual artist, and then I went to art school at NYU, I always would see things in my mind. I would imagine things and then literally create what I saw. And so that process of creating something in the physical after you see it in your head, all artists can kind of relate, whatever your medium is, right? Of like, ooh, you have this idea and then you're able to actually create it. It's so powerful. And that's really what we're doing all the time. We're all creating our lives. We're all dreaming up our lives and creating them. And I think most people think when we're manifesting that, like I said, I am creating this and I have this idea and I'm making it happen. And
Yeah.
I actually say quite the opposite of what, again, like a lot of these mainstream social media famous bloggers are talking about with manifesting. It's not just I have this crazy idea and I'm making it happen, but when you use your imagination is how you tap into your intuition. And I've taken psychic training classes and workshops where you play with your imagination and your intuition. And when you first start to tune into your intuition, it feels like you're making it up. You're just like imagining these things, but that's actually how you tap into your intuition or your higher self or whatever your spiritual beliefs are, right? And so when you have an idea for something that you want, it's not just you having this idea, but you're kind of receiving the universe's dream for you. And not only are you receiving it, but you're intuiting that it's going to happen. And most
Mm-hmm.
people don't view it that way. It's not like they think, oh, that's a great idea, but I can't do it because I don't have the time, the
Yeah.
resources, the connections, the money, blah, blah. And instead, if you were like, oh my gosh, I have this idea, it's going to happen, even if I don't know the way, but I trust and expect it's going to happen, I'm more likely to take action now from a place of trust because I know it's all working out. And I don't actually have to be attached to like this specific company or this specific soulmate or this specific house because I know my perfect company, soulmate, house, client, whatever is there for me. So it's a different way of kind of operating in the world when you use your imagination to open up to something even bigger that's possible and then take action from that place.
I can't help but wonder about the timeline. And
Mm.
so I will tell the truth and shame the devil. I was going to start this podcast and say, Jen, I am steaming mad because I have been trying to manifest a TED Talk for 6 years.
Yeah.
And while I early on had explored that path, I didn't really have any concepts and ideas. And I think I do now. But I feel like I have done so much work, but some of those things still aren't there.
Yeah.
I love the concept of it's a participatory universe. And I have seen and experienced many, many, many opportunities where it is very clear this was intuitively, divinely channeled in some way. But the timeline makes me resistant to belief. And I need you to help me, Jen. And I need you to help people that are resistant and saying this is bullshit.
Yeah.
I've tried all the things. So
okay. This is great, Allison. I love this. Okay. And I'm glad that you're being honest with something specific. So here's the thing. You want a TED Talk really badly. Our brains can only interpret what we understand, right? It's why I have psychics as clients and I have people running multi-million-dollar companies who aren't into spirituality as clients. So I just want to give you guys an idea of who I work with. And even those people who can see things can't see things for themselves.
Yeah.
So you have this dream for your TED Talk and it might be a TED Talk, but the idea that the desire for a TED Talk means it's something like a TED Talk. It might not be a TED Talk. It might be this podcast that reaches millions of viewers. It might still be a TED Talk, but the practice is I think it's that. I'm moving towards that, but I don't need it to be that. Because when we're so attached, it's like this pulling tug of war. And when you're so needy, you're actually repelling the thing that you want. It's repulsive. So it's I expect it's all going to work out. I'm applying for the TED Talk. I'm reaching out to the connections I have, whatever it is, but I'm still putting myself out there speaking. I don't need it to be that. And also, again, I am intuiting. Maybe I am going to be on a TED Talk. I still think I am. I'm keeping that faith and belief. But in the meantime, I don't need this thing to be fulfilled and happy. And I think a lot of times when we're manifesting, we think when I have this thing, then I will feel fulfilled and happy. And instead, I have this 3-step process. It's ask yourself, what do I want? Number 1. Number 2, how will I feel when I have that thing that I want? And then number 3, how can I feel that way now? So I might not have given the TED Talk, but when I give the TED Talk, I am going to feel what? What will you feel, Allison?
I will feel heard.
There you go. So then the number 3 question is, how can I feel heard right now? Or recognized for my accomplishments? I think there's part of that too.
Yeah. And again, this is where I get all tangled up.
Yeah.
Okay. Because what I know intellectually is that it's an active process. And I'm learning that I don't need the external validation to know that I am valued. However, I also know that when I speak in certain situations, I feel the room move.
Yes.
I feel like we are in communication. I feel like change is happening.
Yes. And you're making an impact.
Yeah. Who loves change and loves reinvention and loves the opportunity to evolve and loves working with people who are in that position of changing.
Yeah.
I did think about while I was watching that Mind movie and thinking about the podcast and I'm almost arguing with myself of it doesn't have to be the TED Talk. It could be this podcast. It could be
Right.
whatever.
And yet you're still working towards that. And it's like not letting that go. Because I think oftentimes people who they're just about to manifest the thing that they want and they give up. A lot of people come to me when they're just right there. And it's like if they could only see how close they are. Most people are looking up the mountain and thinking they're so far from the peak instead of turning around and looking at how far they've come. And that's why I always say get down with positive proof from your past, or PPP, because if we look at all the amazing things that you've already accomplished, your positive proof, you've done amazing things before. You've already done all this stuff. And I think what you've just said, Allison, is such a great practice that I have people do. It's what am I proud of on a daily basis? People talk about gratitude all the time. And gratitude is an important practice because what you focus on expands. So if you're grateful for things already, it's again, not needing the dream. My life is good now. I'm not waiting to be happy. If I change my vibration, everything is a vibration and a frequency, and we can talk more about quantum physics and the science of it. But just to talk about, like, everything is moving all the time. If we were to zoom in at the cells in our bodies, we'd see neurons and electrons are moving. We would see that actually our bodies are more space than anything. So it's really about the space in between things, that you and I are not separate. Whatever device you're watching or listening this on is not separate from you. It's just the space in between it. And we know just from us connecting on this podcast and people listening through Wi-Fi or cellular network, there is this invisible network that's connecting all of us. It's magical. It's science. We can't see it. And yet there is a network. We can call someone from around the world and talk to them. And quantum mechanics now is just proven. There's been a whole science prize around it, and that two atoms separated light years away can share knowledge instantaneously, not even a time in between. So all of this is to say, the universe is speaking to us all the time. We are connected 100% of the time to this invisible network. And if you don't believe it, watch the Netflix documentary, Fantastic Fungi, and it will show you how that actually is a network under the ground, hidden with mushrooms, mycelium, that's connecting, and it's how the trees and the root systems talk to each other. That is happening above ground too. And so we're always connected. We are always plugged in. And it's remembering that connection. Again, positive proof from our past. We trust that everything is still happening. You're right there. You're so close. Keep going. Most of us give up somewhere along the way on our dreams. Either we give up that first second that we have the idea because we don't believe it. We don't believe it's possible. We don't trust that we're intuiting. So we're like, we don't even try and take action on it. Or we start to take action and then an obstacle comes up. Obstacles are part of the process, you guys. We're not looking for no obstacles. Every accomplished person that you're looking up to in the world has experienced obstacles. They're part of the process. So it's not when an obstacle comes that we're giving up. We're like, what's the opportunity here? And the practice, which is the challenge, is being grateful for the obstacle when it appears, because that obstacle is taking us to a new place we wouldn't have gotten to had it not shown up. So we're looking for the good. And I started to talk about being proud. Every day, if you're not already doing this, I encourage everybody listening to write down what they're grateful for and what they're proud of. And what you're proud of is not based on results. And this is where people get it messed up. It's not based on, well, I made this ask and this person said yes. They could have said no. You could have gotten rejected. You're proud of how you showed up. It's the same thing in a relationship, in a marriage. We're both in relationships. I'm giving 100%. It's not based off of what that person is doing, but how am I proud of how I'm showing up? And so the more that we can shift that focus, the more we're feeling good about ourselves and the more that we're able to manifest. And I'll give you this one last thing, Allison, before you can ask me another question, is my love, who's Grammy nominated, right? I just said the song that he got Grammy nominated for, he wrote that song 20 years before it was Grammy nominated. So I just want to share that, not that it needs to take 20 years. He had that dream and it happened, but it didn't, again, in terms of timelines, like it happened when it was supposed to happen, when that song came out. And we can talk about timelines and quantum jumping and all that stuff, but it's really trusting that you're not just imagining, you are receiving the universe's dream for you. And actually, it's up to you to take action on that thing that you're receiving. Most of us already, just listening, kind of intuitively know we should be doing something. It doesn't matter what that is. It's like, oh, I should call that person or reach out or send that email. But we're not doing it for some reason because we're scared, uncomfortable. And if we could just take action on those intuitive hits that we're getting, I promise you it's going to lead to manifesting, and not from a needy place. Getting yourself into a vibration. The reason I got all into vibration and stuff and separation is because everything is vibrating all the time. And this idea of vibration, like high vibe attracts your tribe and all this stuff that we see about manifesting, the truth of where that comes is we're all kind of walking around as energy towers, giving off a signal or a vibration and receiving a signal all the time. And it's how you show up. Like you and I showed up to this podcast excited. We got ourselves into a good place to then connect, right? I didn't show up like, life sucks. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, right?
Right.
Because we would feel that. And you rise to meet the highest vibration in the room when you don't need to have manifested your thing and have received it to give off the signal. If you give off the happy signal, you can receive things back that are a match to that signal. It's like smiling literally releases endorphins to make you happy. You don't need to be happy first to smile. You can smile and it allows you to be happy. You can fake laugh and it leads to a real laugh. I do it in photo shoots all the time. So it's true. So we can create that feeling. That's why I said, what do I want? How will I feel when I have it? And what's something I can do today to make me feel that way? Okay, well, I want to feel heard. Okay, I just recorded a podcast. I want to know that I'm making a difference. Oh, I got an email from someone thanking me for my podcast, or I'm going to write down how I'm proud of myself. And that allows me to feel that way. So then I'm a match now to that TED Talk. Do you see what I'm saying? And I'm more likely to actually manifest it because I'm vibrating at that frequency, but I don't need it. It's the plus. It's the bonus. It's, I think it's this, but I don't need it to be this.
Yeah. So I have a real struggle personally. I don't know if this is for people listening with the goal. And when people say, I want you to envision, feel what it's like. I'm like, I'm not even sure this is what I want, but it also feels like what I should want. So whenever I envision where I want to be, I don't know why. I've had this vision of me at a celebration. It's probably your visualization technique. And it is in California over a cliffside with like dusk, that purplish, deep purple sky, that aubergine kind of sky reflecting off the windows of the water. And I'm always in there, in this house that I live in, this beautiful cliffside ocean front house full of windows. And then I think, do I really want that? I really like where I am right now. I mean, sure, I would love to have a beach house, but our home where I live is very happy. Yeah. But I also feel like I cling to this home that I'm so afraid if I were to leave it. Because there's so many benefits around where I live, right in the Atlanta Beltline. So I feel like my messaging gets confused, and my signaling. People say, I want the house on the beach. I want the fancy car. And I don't know that I care about any of that. Right. I want peace in my heart.
Yes.
I want my kids and my family. And I have kids and family and a lot of love in this house. I don't know that I have a ton of peace in my heart, but I'm getting there.
There you go. Yeah.
And what does it look like to feel peace and relaxed and to not stress and to not overthink?
And to not need to overdo in order to prove to yourself worthiness or whatever.
What am I working towards when I have so much? And also, am I limiting what I could because I can't quite see it? Or I can kind of picture it because that's what I've seen in like Pinterest or vision boards or whatever. But I have not really connected to the vision board. So
this is good. I don't teach vision boards because vision boarding is kind of like preschool for manifesting. You're basically you're using
studies.
Yeah, we're not there.
Hey, it's Allison. Are you stuck figuring out how to launch your next big idea or take your goals to the next level? Well, let's fix that. As a no BS coach, I help ambitious women turn ideas into results, whether it is launching a podcast or pivoting careers or starting something entirely new. I am offering a free, no pressure one-on-one brainstorming session to map out your next steps. You can go to AllisonHare.com/schedule and grab your spot. If we're a fit, we'll create a plan that works together. If we're not, I'm going to guide you to the right resource. There is nothing to lose here. It is a new year, time to get what you want.
You're basically pulling from magazines whatever is there based on their advertisers, whatever they're promoting. And so you're looking through to see what resonates with you that kind of represents things and putting things together. And it's two-dimensional and it doesn't get you into that feeling place, which is why I teach about vision movies and things like that. But you come from your own imagination, because then it's your own voice and your own intuition versus you even said this, is this what I should want because everybody else wants this? I don't even care about that. You don't need to
I would love it, but I wouldn't be mad at it.
Exactly. But it's the same. It's what do I want? And also that vision that you're seeing, maybe it is another house that you're going to have, and maybe it isn't, but it's the feeling of peace that you have being there. And how can I cultivate that feeling where I am now? And the other thing too, I think you hit it, is you're scared. This is so common when I see people come to me. It's like they're scared of going bigger because something will change and they like their life right now. It's comfortable. Here's the thing. Everybody listening is comfortable with their life right now. Even if you say you want more and you're striving, there's a level of comfort because it's what you know. If you look around your relationships, your home, everything you have, it's all you know. And anything new that you want in your life is going to be uncomfortable because it's new. Everything new is uncomfortable at first because you don't know what it's going to feel like. So it's really reframing that discomfort as a good thing. We want to move into discomfort because it means we're about to experience something new, which is what we want. Like that feeling of traveling to a new place. Everyone loves that. Why? Because it's new. And so it's, this is a good thing. Even though it's scary and uncomfortable, it can still be a yes. It doesn't mean it's a no. It's the practice of manifesting is so much more about opening up. Most of us, we're about to get everything we want and we close off because it's uncomfortable. Oh no, and it's like, no. If you could just continue to open and kind of blossom like a flower, you're about to get everything you want. And it's really moving through that discomfort and not trying to get the discomfort away and trusting that it's leading you to the next right thing. So I think that's also the practice is like, we're all manifesting, but you might be sending mixed signals. Like you said, the practice is more receiving, honestly, being able to receive and accept more help, accept more abundance, accept more love, that you're worthy of that right now. And also that your big dream is a part of somebody else's big dream too. And I think people forget this. They think it's being selfish, but actually you're receiving the universe's dream. You get to be the physical part of the universe's dream. And your soulmate, right? Their dream is to be your soulmate and be in a relationship. Same thing with business. One of my clients, she came to me, she had a startup company and she had written down at the beginning of Manifestation Masters that she wanted to sell her company for hundreds of millions of dollars. And she thought she wasn't even profitable yet in her startup. She was like, I think this is going to be at least 5 to 7 years out. Guess what? Literally, a couple months later, she gets an email from a company looking to acquire her. And not only this, she gets bought, by the way, for that hundreds of millions of dollars. And it is such a perfect match. She got to stay on as CEO, which she wanted, to then create more money and make bigger impact. And the company that bought her out, they were in such alignment in morally. And, she was a foster care kid. The head of the company was a foster care kid. They give all their giving back is like taking care of foster kids, like so many things that were all about like empowering women. And it couldn't be more synchronistic on so many levels. And they even said that her company is their favorite acquisition. It was just so perfect. So I think we forget this. I talk about my book a lot, and I just want to share this story real fast to have another perspective. And when I had the idea to write a book, I literally just was on the phone with my coach, like a similar call like this. I said, I think I have a book within me. And my coach was like, great, Jen. Awesome. I can help you. Like any good coach. She didn't say, that's a stupid idea, Jen. You could never do that. Then maybe I wouldn't do it because she thought it was stupid. How many times do we take other people's stuff into our head, right? And so she just was believing eyes and kept that vision. I didn't actually take action on it, but I had that belief, okay, I could write a book someday. I get an email a week later, literally from a publishing company. asking me to write a book. They were like, Jen, this was not a long time ago, but whatever, like almost 10 years ago, when there weren't as many people talking about manifestation. And they said, oh, we love your voice on your blog. We'd love for you to write a book, something like Manifesting Made Easy. Now, my dream publisher was Simon and Schuster. This was a publishing house I'd never heard of. And I thought this must be some marketing scheme. They want me to pay them to write a book. But I Googled them. It's a small publishing house. I was like, okay, I'll get on a call with them. They offered me a paid book deal to write my book. Long story short, I got a literary agent, help me negotiate my book deal. And while I'm writing my book, my small publishing house gets bought by Simon and Schuster. So I'm a Simon and Schuster published author. It happened way easier. I didn't need to write all the book proposal. And again, I was intuiting when I had that idea. Oh, I want to be a Simon & Schuster author. Same thing with you in your TED Talk. It's like, don't give up. It might not look exactly the way you think, but I didn't say no because it wasn't TED. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the Simon & Schuster. I said, yes. Oh, I do want to write a book. This is a great way. They are paying me. And then it led to that. Now, I'm writing my book, and at the same time, my friend Lisa had reached out to me to create a board game with her. And we had met at a conference, and she had this idea to make an adult board game that was all about empowering women. And it was right up my alley. I was like, oh, I love this. Yes, we'll create a board game together. We are designing our board game ourselves. We have a prototype being made in China, and we designed our board game. I actually designed the cover of the board game, okay? We have the prototype being made in China. At the same time, my publisher sends me a copy of my book cover that they designed. And for those of you who are watching this on YouTube, they match. They match. They both are turquoise with gold and white sparks, okay? And I share this because I say your dream is the universe's dream for you, and other people are, meant to play their part. And we're part of this quantum universe. We're all connected and receiving things. Whoever's job it was to design my book cover somehow had the idea to make it turquoise with a spark on it. Like, what? I couldn't make this up. And I have so many stories like this. We could talk for a million, hours of synchronistic stories. But this is it. Like, these synchronicities, they can start happening more on a regular basis when you're kind of plugged in. And you remember, like, oh, if I say yes and I step forward on that thing that I intuitively think I should do, I know that the universe is going to give me that next part. I'm co-creating. I don't need to do it alone. If I think it's all me, and all ego, then when things go wrong, I'm beating myself up because I think I messed it up. Versus, yeah, we all make mistakes, and there's lessons, obviously, and opportunities. That's how we learn. But if I recognize that I'm a co-creator, it's all okay when those obstacles come up. It's like, oh, okay. Maybe this is an opportunity for something else. Like, oh, okay, I went the wrong way. I made a wrong turn with my kids the other day in Atlanta, where I am now. And oops, I went the wrong way. And then we turned around. And then by the time we got to where we were supposed to go, there had just been an accident that just happened. The police were, on the way. I was like, oh, I guess I made the wrong turn to miss that accident. It's that same thing. Everything is leading you to exactly where you're supposed to be. Really, there's no mistake in the universe. And again, I'll share one more story just to inspire people. One of my clients was looking to do a business deal with a real estate company in another state. He lived in Virginia. He was looking to do something, I think it was like North Carolina. Anyway, he goes on vacation with his family in Martha's Vineyard, and he is waiting in line at a takeout restaurant for food. And so the line is long. And so he turns to the woman next to him and says, like, hey, where are you from? She's from this small town in North Carolina that he's looking to do this real estate deal. He couldn't get in touch with the person. He'd been trying to get in touch with the head of this company. So he's like, oh, that's so funny you're from that town. I've been trying to get in touch with so-and-so. Do you know him? And she smiles and she repeats the name back. And she's like, oh, you mean so-and-so? He's like, yeah. She turns to her husband. That's my husband, standing right there in line at takeout on vacation in Martha's Vineyard in a totally different state that both of them live in. So they exchanged numbers. They made an appointment. They, did business later. Like, how cool is that? These things are not just crazy synchronicities. Like, this is the universe is bringing us everything we need is right in front of our nose. If we can just see it, if we can say hello to somebody, it's really about connection and being authentic and not being afraid of sharing and being vulnerable. Vulnerability is availability because now we're available to connect, and everything we want is from a connection. If you share what your dream is, oh, I might be able to help you, or I might know someone. And so it's really showing up and connecting, and then everything comes from that.
This sounds like a way more expansive lens on the world. And I wonder, what about manifestation do you feel needs to be updated as it is from like a mainstream understanding of it? What needs to be updated?
I think just in general that you're not just imagining, you're intuiting, number one, really trusting that. Also, there's no such thing as trying and manifesting. You're never trying to do anything. If you're trying, you're not 100% committed. And you said, I've been trying to do this TED Talk. You
Yeah.
said that. And you might not have even realized it. But it's like, I either am or I'm not. I either trust and expect that it's all happening. I don't need it to happen, but like, I'm giving a TED Talk. When you show up at a party and introduce yourself, if someone is confidently telling you what they're doing, you're more likely to be like, "Ooh, that's so cool. Like, tell me
Yeah.
more. I want to be a part of it," versus like, "I'm just trying." You're like, "Good luck. I don't want to help you." So it's really like, am I all in? Because I think the thing is the fear of going all in that brings up all those limiting beliefs. Well, what if it doesn't work out? What if I failed? Blah,
Uh-huh.
blah, blah, blah. But it's like when I commit, I can always change my mind, right? Like I can always commit again and make another decision, but I need to decide. It's when I'm on the fence, I'm sending mixed signals. The universe doesn't know what to bring me because I haven't fully said yes. And if I said yes, keep that yes. Ordering at the restaurant, the chef is already making your food in the kitchen. And now you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have ordered that. They've already started making your food. So the universe is the kitchen. Keep your order and see it through until you actually receive it. Don't give up right before you're about to receive it. And trust you're always in the perfect place. Again, everything is leading you to the next right thing and the next right thing, even when it feels like it's a mistake. And it's really about wanting to understand it's about feeling the way you want to feel now. And you don't need any external anything to do that. It can start from you. Acting as if the other thing that is a kind of a myth, it's like that fake it till you make it that's out there.
Yeah.
It's not fake it
Mhm.
till you make it. I mean, that's the expression, but true acting as if it's about that vibration that I talked about. It's like, okay, I want to be a successful TED Talk speaker. Like, what would that person do? How would that person show up? What would I do today then? How would I operate? How would I get dressed? So it's all of those things. Like, how do I want to feel if I am that person who I want to be? If I want to be in a loving soulmate relationship, well, how can I love on myself today? Simple. It's so simple. And yet, I think so many of these things are simple. They sound so simple, but it's in the practice of it. Like, okay, I know about gratitude.
Mm.
Am I practicing it? I don't need to write it down every day, but am I thinking about that? Am I falling asleep on my pillow like, let me go through the day. Oh, yeah, this happened and this happened. And oh, that was so cool. The more that we shift our lens to find the good with our rose colored glasses, the more good we're going to see. We all, have had the experience of test driving a car. And then all of a sudden we start seeing that exact model on the road everywhere.
Yeah.
That exact model was always on the road, but because we test drove it, now we start to see it. So it's that practice of looking for the good, looking for the connections. They're there. You just haven't been looking for them and not needing them. So acting as if is like, I'm going to create that signal, that frequency. I'm going to become it. And then I'm attracting other things to me that are a match to that signal. And then it shifts everything around you. And then I do want to share another reframe. I said there's no such thing as trying, right? You either are or you aren't. But I find oftentimes, especially with the people who are listening to this podcast, we're all go-getters. And we have a long list of things
Mhm.
that we have to do every day. Right. And we probably never get it all done. And I think we tell ourselves, like, oh, I have to do this. I need to do this. I should do this. And I recommend switching that. It's the same thing on your list. But if you switch your I have to I get to, it automatically changes the way you feel. Like it feels better in your body to say, ooh, I get to do this. I get to drive my kids to school versus I have to. Okay, then I'm finding the good in that. Oh, it's alone time with them when, maybe they open up and talk to me about stuff. And I love that. Or I get to listen to this podcast on the drive because this is my time to listen to podcasts. So we're finding the good in the situation, number one. The other thing it does, which you mentioned in the beginning of this podcast, is it switches you from victim mode, like a victim of your schedule or a victim of time, to a
Mhm.
participant. We live in a participatory universe. That's quantum physics, meaning that we can change the results of things based on how we are showing up, that we're not just accepting things, but if we change the way we show up, we can change the effects around us. So when we say, I get to, oh, right, I chose this. I chose to have this kid. I chose to work at this job or create this company or whatever it is, right? Oh, I get to do this. And then we're finding the good in it. I get to work with this person because I love this person, or I get to make this impact because I love doing that. And so again, it's like, are you looking at life as a victim? Or are you looking at life as like, I'm in the driver's seat and I'm a participant? And yes, I'm co-creating and I'm so excited to see what's going to show up today.
I can't help but think about what happens when you're just in the shit of life. I can't help but think about there's the line between toxic positivity of like not acknowledging that maybe you're just not in that place. And you talked about obstacles being part of it. How do you acknowledge that?
Yeah, I love that you brought this up. Thank you. Because I'm anti-toxic positivity. It might sound like I don't teach affirmations. That's another thing, because you don't want to actually say like, I'm a millionaire in your bank account. Like you're overdrawn. Every time you say I'm a millionaire, you're actually feeling more and more shitty about yourself, right?
Totally.
So it's like, no. Number one, well, I'll just give this as an example and then I'll go back to answer your question. Instead of saying an affirmation, I actually recommend changing it to a question. How can I? How can I be a millionaire? How can I afford it? How can I become TED Talk speaker? How can I? Now I'm not closed off. I'm not saying it's not possible based on all these reasons I give myself, but I'm not saying I am, because that doesn't feel real. And I'm not feeling shitty every time I say I am when I'm not. So how can I is like, ooh, I'm open to finding a way. I'm open to receiving that, whatever. So change it to a question. The other thing is, we are meant to feel our emotions. Emotion, the word emotion, the root of emotion is motion, which is movement. I talked about vibration. It's law of vibration. Everything is moving all the time. So if we don't acknowledge the shitty feelings, they're going to get stuck inside of us, right? And then we're going to wonder why things aren't happening, because we've got stuck energy. We want to feel our feelings. We want to get it out. I call it emptying the bucket. Like, get out all the quote unquote bad stuff. By the way, nothing is bad or good. It's just us judging it, right? But we want to get out those bad feelings and then layer on what feels like believable. But you want to start with like, I love kind of transitioning with a question like, is this true? Or how can I, like, well, what if best case scenario versus what if worst case scenario? Because we can actually love the idea. This is actually the Sedona method. So this is a proven methodology where you go into worst case scenario and you allow yourself to really feel into the worst case scenario, because I think a lot of people are afraid to even go there. They're just having anxiety of worst case scenario. Go into the worst case scenario. Allow yourself to play it out. Like, if that really did happen, then what would I do? What would I do to get out of that? And then what would I do? Play that out. And then you'll see, oh, I actually could get out of that if the worst case scenario happened. And then go straight from that to best case scenario. Now play out best case scenario. What is the best thing that could happen if I go for this and blah, blah, blah. And you're going to see, ooh, I'm resonating more with best case scenario. I could try to go back to worst case scenario. It doesn't even resonate anymore. You can kind of go back and forth. And so that's one way of like processing and just like allowing yourself to feel it. There's so many techniques. But here's the other thing. I talk about manifesting like planting seeds in the garden when you're setting intentions. So if you set an intention like you're planting a garden, you put your seed in the dirt. And all around you, life might look like dirt. And you'd see no evidence of anything happening. And you're like, all I see is dirt, right? But first, the seed grows roots down in the soil for a solid foundation before you ever even see a sprout up above the surface. So you might have created the most solid root system ever, and you're thinking nothing is happening. When it's like, oh my gosh, if you could just stay, like that sprout is right there, like bamboo, that like there's a long gestation period. And then all of a sudden it grows 30 feet in 30 days. So it's okay. Just think of it as like continuing to nurture. That's the expectation piece of there's no such thing as trying. If I'm not just imagining and I'm intuiting, okay, I expect it's all going to work out. So I'm going to keep nurturing that dream. I'm going to keep watering those seeds. And the other thing is, when those sprouts start to appear, most people are like, it's just a sprout. I was expecting a tree, right?
Right.
And so that's the other thing, which the gratitude practice is so good for. It's like, no, that sprout is the tree. That sprout is the tree. Keep going. it's going to become the tree instead of, oh, well, it's only this thing, or I only manifested a parking spot, or I found a penny. It's like, no, keep going. Because like the more you can celebrate those little wins, or that person responded to my email, like, woohoo, like it doesn't need to be the whole thing. But it's like, okay, I'm on the right path and I'm celebrating that. And I'm celebrating what I did. Again, other people have their own stuff. I can't control everybody else. I can control how I'm showing up. Just like I can't control, there's going to be obstacles in the world, especially right now. But how am I showing up in the face of all of that? And don't make yourself wrong for things that show up in your life, but how am I showing up now that this came? What's the opportunity for me here? And keep going, keep nurturing your dreams.
I love that. Well, Jen, how do people work with you? You have so many different opportunities for people to put this into practice. How are some ways people can work with you?
Yes. So I have my Manifestation Masters program. That's for everyone. I call it a master's program because once you understand this, like Allison, you then can do this and look at the world from a different lens and operate differently. And that's a 40-day program called Manifestation Masters. And that you can find on my website, queenofmanifestation.com. And then I also have what I call the Manifestation Club. And that is for women leaders. And that is a way to work with me one-on-one, private coaching with an awesome mastermind of other supportive women who are up-leveling in their lives. And it includes retreats with me to fun places like Peru and Bali and lots of cool things. So you can find out more on my website about that as well.
And I'll link everything in the show notes. Thank you so much, Jen. This was so helpful. And thank you for taking me. Thank you for being my therapist, my manifestation coach for this. I think I needed a little bit of a reframe.
No, it's good. I have such a good, perfect example. Oh, and I will share too, I do have a free guidebook on my website, Create a Life of Pure Magic. And it's 46 pages of awesome practices and different things you can implement. So you can get that there too. And I think
I'll link it all in the show notes. Thank you so much, Jen.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thanks for having me.
I feel better already. Don't you? I know you're going to want to follow and connect with Jen Mazer, and I love all of the reframes that she was able to give us and remove some of the blocks, at least that came up for me, and I imagine for you too. I have linked her info in the show notes. She has some specialty programs that are coming up, so I invite you to go check that out. And while you're there, let's keep this conversation going. Share this episode with a friend who needs a little bit of a mindset refresh or a reminder of what's possible. And if you are craving a reinvention of your own, I want you to book a call with me. It is no obligation, no pressure. We can do a brainstorm session of what do you want this year to look like? I would love to help you turn what's next into what's now. Until next time, I leave you with a loving reminder to spread your arms wide, take up more space, and create a room big enough to hold every beautiful inch of your dreams and desires to create the life you want on your own terms, because you deserve it. I'm Allison Hare. Thanks for hanging out in the Reinvention Room.